year. So welcome today to our very first info session of the 2024-2025 year for fall 2025 enrollment. We're really excited. We just started our incoming cohort, welcomed them to campus a couple weeks ago, and now we are looking forward to next fall when we hopefully invite and welcome several of you here. So we're excited to get started. The topic today is the introduction to the Master of Social Work program. So we want to introduce ourselves first here. We have several admissions staff on the call here who are going to be available to answer some questions. But my colleague Clarissa and I are going to be your main hosts today. So I would love to pass it over to you, to Clarissa, to introduce yourself.
Thanks, Sheena, and welcome everyone to our session. And we're so excited to speak with you about our MSW program and also get to know your favorite ice cream. I think after this, we should all go get some as an early lunch. Oh, and I'll pass it back over to Sheena.
Thanks, Clarissa. So yeah, I'm Shayna Peterson. I use she, her pronouns, admissions and recruitment specialist with the Office of Admissions. Clarissa and I both work with prospective students like yourself. So the two of us will be probably the main people that you'll work with over the next year in answering your questions related to the program and the application. So we are excited to introduce ourselves to you and get started here. So first of all, just a couple of housekeeping notes before we dive in to the content. Today's webinar is being recorded. Closed captions are enabled. They can be activated at any time. We are in a Zoom webinar, so you can probably tell that we can't see or hear the audience. We cannot call in raised hands. If you do have questions, obviously the chat is enabled. We ask that you use the Q&A feature to submit your questions though. Like I said, we have some admissions staff on the line here and we'll be answering some questions as we go. We'll also be waiting until the very end to answer some questions that we'd like to answer live. And if we don't have a chance to answer your question, we might not have a chance to get to everyone. So please reach out to us via email at brownadmissions@woostel.edu. Our email address is right there on the screen. So we're here to answer any questions. As I said, today's topic is Introduction to our Master of Social Work program. We do ask that we keep questions on topic today. We're going to have a lot of different info sessions throughout the fall, lots of opportunities to discuss different things. But today we really want to dive into the MSW program. So we ask that you keep the questions on topic and a little bit more general in nature. If you do have questions about your specific situation, again, email us directly at brownadmissions@woostel.edu and we will be happy to help. Alrighty. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Clarissa.
Hi, everyone. Sorry about that. I am also an admissions and recruitment specialist, as Sheena said. So yes, you will definitely be speaking with us quite a bit. And we're excited to share more about the Brown School in today's presentation. So one of the things that I wanted to note firstly, before we get into the topic area, is that we are really excited to be celebrating 100 years here at the Brown School since it was founded here in 1925 by Betty Bofinger Brown. And throughout the 100 years that we've evolved our program to include public health and social policy, the key point that I would say is at the focal point of everything we do is our dedication to equity and commitment to impact. And these are values that you'll hear throughout our time talking about the Brown School and also your time here at the Brown School. And so what makes the Brown School's approach different? Our mission is to engage multidisciplinary faculty, staff, and students to create a better and more equitable society through rigorous science, transformative education, and authentic partnerships. And really, this is our way of saying that we're trying to translate research to actionable solutions and bringing the solutions into our communities where they're needed most. And I think that this quote from our current dean, Dorian Traub, really encapsulates this mission by saying, in this transformative environment, you'll find our programs to be a beacon of innovation, cultivating a vibrant community where passion, promise, and opportunity converge with unwavering support. It's not just education, it's a journey of inspiration, collaboration, and growth. And so part of being able to have that diverse perspective and enable our inability to have that equity that we want to see within our academics, but then also within our communities, we're very happy to talk a little bit more about our student body. So for the fall 2024 cohort, we were excited to welcome 230 new students, 134 of which are MSW students. And out of this total cohort, 38% of our students are international, representing 17 countries. We also are really proud of our statistic to have 50% of our incoming cohort as first generation graduate students, and 41% of our domestic students are students of color. In addition to these statistics, we also have students who range from 20 years old to 58 years old. So also getting that age perspective in as well, with a median age of 25. And then also when it comes to gender identity, 70% of our student cohort here identifies as female cisgender, with 24% as male cisgender and 6% as transgender, agender, genderqueer, or gender fluid. And now I will pass it over to Shanna to talk about our holistic curriculum overview.
Thanks, Clarissa. Yes, so we are going to spend several minutes here going over our MSW curriculum. We'll talk about all the programs within our MSW, so our full-time MSW, our advanced standing, our part-time MSW, and then our dual degree programs. So first of all, just a little bit about our curriculum. Our curriculum was designed to be different. And by that, we mean first, we take an evidence-based approach to practice. That means that our curriculum, our practice, and our interventions are driven and informed by research. Our curriculum is also grounded in driving social, racial, economic, environmental, and health equity. This reflects the Brown School strategic plan, which is called Driving Equity 2030. We have all of that outlined on our website and is a core part of what we do here with our curriculum and our student body. Students here learn through an anti-oppressive framework, meaning that we're aware of the existing power differentials within our society, and we focus on advancing the voices and needs of marginalized communities. We also take a transdisciplinary problem-solving approach. That means that students learn to examine the issues and approach problems from a multifaceted, interdisciplinary perspective. And finally, we ground our curriculum in flexibility, meaning that it's designed for students to really build those core social work skills and competencies while also providing room for them to explore their individual interests and career goals. So we'll talk a little bit more about that next when we get into our concentrations and specializations. First of all, the timeline we want to talk about with our full-time MSW program. It is 2 full years, 660 credits. In year one, you're going to focus really on your foundation level courses. That includes 21 credits. And then for your practicum is your internship, your field experience. You're going to start that in the spring of your first year. So you kind of get here, you start your classes, you start your foundation level learning, and then you continue that in the spring and you add on your internship or your practicum. Those foundation courses, just some examples for you: human behavior, social justice and human diversity, social work policies and services, things like that. Again, just to get you that really strong social work foundation. The practicum is 3 credits plus 1 credit of a seminar. That translates to 360 hours of real-time work. And so most students will complete that in the spring of their first year. You might kind of go into the summer a little bit, but most students will complete in the spring or early summer. Year 2 of your social work program is your final year. So you start and then you're almost done. Once you get into that second year, you'll focus on those concentration level courses. So again, we'll talk about concentrations in just a moment, but concentration is kind of like your major. So you'll start to get into those concentration level courses your second year. You can see on the slide here that those courses are 21 credits. Your concentration level practicum is actually going to start in the fall of your second year and go through graduation in the spring. 5 credits, that translates to 600 hours of a real in-person experience. So you can see that between those 360 hours your first year and the 600 hours your second year, you're going to graduate with almost 1,000 hours of practicum or internship experience, which is a lot and is really great because you'll be entering the field with a lot of experience. a couple of examples of concentration level courses. These will, of course, vary depending on what your concentration is. But for example, if you're in the mental health concentration level courses might be differential diagnosis, clinical interventions in behavioral health. Every concentration will have a policy level course focusing on your specific concentration. So just to give you an idea of what those might look like. You can also see that arrow at the bottom of the slide. We have included our elective courses. So of those 60 credits for the whole program, 9 of those credits are elective courses, meaning that they're yours to choose. You can do whatever you want with them. You can take courses at the Brown School. You can take graduate level courses at another school at Washington University, as long as you meet the prerequisite requirements. So you can, some examples would be taking other maybe other courses within your concentration. You could take courses within another concentration. You might want to take public health course, a business course at the School of Business, things like that. Lots of different options there for you. Most of your elective courses are probably going to be in your second year, but you do have the option to start those in your first year. Okay, so I've mentioned our concentrations and our specializations a couple of times here. I want to go through those. First of all, concentration, like I said before, think of concentration kind of like your major. Every student in our MSW program is required to have a concentration. You will select this, you actually will indicate this on your application. You'll select this coming into your program. You do have some flexibility to change that, but we do hope that students come in with kind of a pretty good idea of what they want to do. So you can see here that we have 8 different concentrations. We have a few different tracks within a couple of these, so I'm going to go through these one by one. First of all, you can see here we have the American Indian and Alaskan Native concentration. We have 3 different tracks within this concentration, a trauma-informed track, a behavioral health track, and a community track. So a few different options there. Children, youth, and families is a popular option for students. Health, mental health is probably one of our most popular concentration for students right now. Again, 3 different tracks within that concentration, clinical social work, child behavioral health, and clinical social work and substance use disorder treatment. So a few different options there depending on your interest and your career goals. We also have our social and economic development concentration with a domestic focus, social and economic development concentration with an international focus. Social impact leadership is another concentration that has 2 tracks. The first one being innovation and social entrepreneurship, and the second being organizational leadership and management. And then finally, we have an individualized concentration. And so this is really a concentration for students to design their own concentration. So maybe you are really interested in 2 of the other concentrations and you really can't decide and you want to combine them. Or maybe there's something that's not really fully represented in any of the concentrations. We have an individualized option for you to work together with your academic advisor to really design that to meet your learning interests and your career goals. On the other side of the screen here, you can see we have our optional specializations, keyword here being optional, not required. Think of this like a minor. So again, something that gives you the opportunity to specialize in something. Specializations will take all 9 of your elective credits. That is something that's really important to know. So typically they are 3 credit hour classes, which would take all 9 credits. You can see here we have management, older adults and aging societies. We have a policy specialization, a research specialization, sexual health and education, which I want to point out is quite popular. We are one of the only social work schools in the country that has that particular specialization. Social entrepreneurship, another popular option, system dynamics, and violence and injury prevention. So lots of options here. Again, we do try to make our curriculum pretty flexible so that students can really do what they want to do and learn about what they want to learn. So 8 concentration options, 8 specialization options. And I do love this picture at the bottom. I just want to point out this is some students from our graduating class this past spring at our Brown School Excellence Awards ceremony. So lots of familiar faces there for us. Okay, so that was an overview of our full-time MSW program. I want to talk briefly about our advanced standing and then our part-time program. So advanced standing is for students who hold bachelor work of social work degrees. So a couple of ways to determine your eligibility for advanced standing. Three things you want to really keep in mind here. So first, you earn your BSW from a CSWE accredited institution or program within the past 6 years. Secondly, the content of each course does need to be consistent with the Brown School's MSW coursework. And then third, you need to receive a grade of B or higher in the course in order to receive credit for it. So there are two different tracks here that we have for our advanced standing students. First is the 12-month track. This enables you to complete your program in 12 months, sort of an August to August timeline. You'll start in August, and then you'll complete your program in the following August. You'll do 2 full academic semesters of coursework, and then you'll do practicum and coursework in that final summer as well. Our second option is our 16-month track. This is 3 full academic semesters. So you'll do a fall, spring, and then a fall. Again, you'll do practicum and coursework over the summer, and then you'll graduate in December. So there are some pros and cons to each of these options. It's completely up to you to decide what you'd like to do. With option 1, it's a shorter program, so it's a little more intensive. You also have less flexibility with changing your concentration. You also have less time to sort of be on campus, meet people, work with faculty, sort of like take advantage of all the opportunities that are available at the Brown School. But it is the shortest timeline, and you do save tuition overall. It's the lowest overall cost. Our second option, the pros for the first option are the cons for the second one, and vice versa. So of course, with our second option, this offers more flexibility. You have some more time to change your concentration. You also have more time to sort of soak up all those resources, work with classmates, work with faculty, staff, to really build those relationships. The con, I would say, is that it is the longer program, and it does have a higher overall cost as opposed to the first option. So that's our advanced standing program. And then we move into just some information about our part-time MSW program and our dual degree programs. So we have a part-time MSW program that is designed for local students here in St. Louis. It is a 3 to 3.5 year program. So it's designed to be completed between 3 and 3.5 years. It's year round, meaning that you'll attend classes all year, fall, spring, summer, with a short little break in between each of those semesters. We've designed the program very intentionally to for students who are not able to really do a full-time program, so likely have full-time jobs or family responsibilities, things like that. So because of that, the curriculum is delivered in a variety of ways. So in person, online, synchronous learning, weekend format, things like that. The part-time program is also a cohort model, meaning that it's much smaller than our full-time cohort, and you move through the program together. So you will take almost all of your classes together except for those 9 elective credits. So very much like a moving through the program together cohort model. Our dual degree programs, we have several options for those of you who are interested in combining your MSW with another degree. Within the Brown School, we offer a dual degree between our MSW and our Master of Public Health, our MPH program. We also have dual degree programs where we partner with other schools at Washington University and also with a local theological seminary called Eden. So with this, we have listed here several options for you to do your MSW with a degree from the business school, from the education program, School of Law, the School of Art and Architecture, and again, that theological seminary. So lots of different options there. We won't get into all the details, but if you're interested in those, just reach out to us and we can talk more about the application process and the curriculum structure. Okay. I'm going to take a break from talking and pass it back to Clarissa.
All right, thank you, Sheena. So as Shanna mentioned, with our curriculum, it can be a little overwhelming, but have no fear. There are people here that are here to support you throughout your time with academic and student supports so that you can have that both personal and professional success during your time here at the Brown School. And so one of the folks that you'll be meeting with a lot throughout your time here is with our field education office. They are fantastic, and they're really here to give you support, guidance, and advise you throughout your entire practicum experience so that you feel prepared to go out into the communities that we want to serve and be equitable about it. So one of the things that happens when you come to the Brown School and you do your MSW program, if you're doing the full-time 2-year program, you'll do your foundation practicum, which Shanna mentioned is 4 credits with 360 contact hours. And so with your foundation practicum, but also your 600-hour concentration practicum, your field education office will talk to you about what are your interests? What are the values that you want to get out of an organization that you're working with? What are your skill sets? What are things that you want to work on? They're really here to support you because we have over 400 practicum sites to choose from, which can be a little daunting. So they're there to help you figure out really what's the best fit for you, but then also what would be a good fit organizationally for them to give you the skills that you're looking for. And so again, you do get to select your own practicum placement in partnership with the field site, but you'll do your own interviews. You'll really get to know the agency one-on-one and make sure it's that good fit. But we're really here to support you throughout picking that agency, but also your time with that agency too. They will do site visits just to make sure everything's going according to plan. And you can also do practicums locally, nationally, or internationally. So again, trying to be very individualized and specific to your areas of interest. And here we just have 4 of those 400 agencies that I mentioned, but very specific to St. Louis. If you're more interested in clinical practice, you may decide to work with the Veteran Affairs Medical Center so that you can work with clients more one-on-one in case management scenarios. But if you're more into policy and advocacy, for instance, you might look at working with Legal Services of Eastern Missouri, which offers free civil legal services for folks who are low income. We also offer community development with Beyond Housing, which is a local nonprofit that helps folks be educated around housing and also provide funding to become first-time homeowners. Or also, if you want to think a little bit bigger and think about nonprofit administration, the United Way is a great place to do that so that you know the inner workings of how organizations run, but also how they can be managed effectively to create that change we want to see with our communities. But in addition to field education, you also are going to receive holistic advising from 2 other folks. First is your academic advisor, and this person is here with you from day 1 when you're admitted, and you're thinking about how do I move through my concentration, especially if you do decide to individualize and working through creating your own curriculum. Your academic advisor is really going to be that person that helps you with class registration, academic support resources so that you're supported both in and outside of the classroom, but then also drop-in hours. So creating informal ways to connect and just kind of check in on what's working, what's not, and where we can help in certain situations. We also have a faculty advisor. And so this person, again, it's important academically that you feel that you have mentorship, but also what happens when you leave the Brown School. We want to be able to create those classroom to real life connections, but then also those mentoring opportunities that you can take with you once you leave the Brown School. And I'll actually pass it over to Shanna to talk a little bit more of what those faculty relationships look like and also the research opportunities that you might get to do once you're at the Brown School to work with our faculty.
Thanks, Clarissa. Yes, we want to spend just a couple of minutes talking about this. Faculty are a large reason that a lot of students come to the Brown School. They are top scholars in their field, experts in their fields, and are able to form very close relationships with students. They are a top resource and support system continuously to students. So you will be paired, as Clarissa mentioned, with a dedicated faculty advisor who's aligned with your concentration. We're proud to have an 8-to-1 student to faculty ratio, and especially once you get into those concentration level courses, those can be quite small, which is really, really nice. WashU is a premier research institution, so research is a huge part of what we do at the school. We received several questions about that. If you're interested in research, lots and lots and lots of opportunities for you to do that alongside faculty. We do have over 20 research centers housed specifically at the Brown School. So Lots of opportunities within our school for you to engage in research. We have over 180 paid student research positions as research assistants. And then we also have lots of other opportunities for you to engage in research with faculty. That might include an independent study, co-presenting at a conference or co-authoring a paper, and then maybe a research-focused practicum with a faculty member. Career engagement is going to be something that you are probably involved in from day one here at the Brown School. WashU has a centralized career service center called the Center for Career Engagement. They're there to help students turn their education into real world success. So they do that through a number of offerings you can see listed here. They have resume review sessions, one-on-one advising. We have a dedicated advisor at the Center for Career Engagement who works specifically with Brown School students and has for years and has a lot of expertise in that field. So she works specifically with our students. That center can help you with mock interviews. There's lots of opportunities for career fairs throughout the year. There are also several pop-up events with employers. They might just, be over a lunch hour here at the Brown School with an employer coming here to meet students in a more casual manner. We have alumni gatherings with Brown School alumni starting at, the first week of school during orientation, video tutorials just to kind of help you with, little things, build some skills, do some how to do things like that, and much, much more. So that whole center is here for you from day one. And then they're there for you indefinitely. So once you graduate 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the road, the WashU Center for Career Engagement is here to support you along the way. We also wanted to talk about some of the supports that we have at the Brown School and at WashU for students. We really try to take a student-centered approach to learning, knowing that you need support both in and outside of the classroom. So we've listed just a few of the many support systems that we have here at the school and at the university. So I'll go through them real quickly here. The Office of Diversity, Inclusion, and Equity, the Office of Student Financial Services, which is housed specifically at the Brown School. So we have a dedicated team working here only with Brown School students. PAWS stands for Presentation and Writing Center. And we also have the Writing Center for writing support. So lots of support with all of the presentations and papers you're going to be working on as students, especially in the MSW program. Center for Career Engagement, like I just mentioned, that center is here to support you. We have a professional development team at the Brown School that hosts regular seminars and lots of different additional professional development opportunities for students. We have a student affairs support team, so your advisors, the admissions office, financial aid, all sorts of people are on that team to support you. Lots of opportunities for student organizations and groups. You can also start your own group if you're interested in that, but we have some existing ones here that are opportunities for you to join. The Graduate Center at WashU is another centralized center that supports all graduate students at WashU. So they provide lots of support. They provide lots of programming. That's a great opportunity for you to meet other graduate students across the university. The Brown School Library is here for students. I think this is kind of the hidden gem at the Brown School. We have our own library within our school and dedicated librarians to help you with your specific research that's specific to social work. We also have an Office of Global Programs that supports international students, supports global opportunities for students. And then we have a statistics lab that is, of course, to help you learn statistics and to help with that extra statistics work support. And now we're going to talk about funding, and Clarissa is going to take the lead on that.
Yes, I am excited to talk about this one. I would say that this is one of the most important questions that students have. They love the program, but what is it like to make your MSW a reality? What does the funding and the costs look like? So just to give you an idea for the MSW program, we did include the tuition and fees for the 2024 to 2025 academic year. And please note that these tuition and the fees are based on the full year. So the tuition per semester, you would take the total number here, which is $48,010, and you would divide it in half just to know what that tuition looks like. But for the year for 2024 to 2025, it was $48,010 with a student health and wellness fee of $646. We also do include a Brown School student activity fee that all students are required to pay. It's $120. And for those that may not have health insurance coming into the Brown School, WashU does provide student health care for folks who need it. And so that's an additional $2,580. So you're looking at a total cost of about $51,356. And I would also encourage you to, after this presentation, to look at our website. We also have what's called a cost of attendance sheet. And that also includes what our estimated cost would be around housing, groceries, books, et cetera, things that you might have to spend more money on throughout the year. So we want to give you a full inclusive thought of the total cost, not only of attending the Brown School, but also living here in St. Louis. And one quick note too, with that last slide too, is that for anyone who might be interested in our part-time MSW program, you will pay per credit each semester. So you won't pay the $51,000 up front like that. It'll just differ semester to semester with the part-time program. The options for funding your degree, though, we do have quite a few options. First is institutional funding, which is our Brown School Scholarship. One of the things that we're very proud to say is that folks who do the application and our scholarship consideration form, so long as you check yes that you would like to be considered for scholarship, 100% of students who request scholarship do receive it. But it's important to note that these are partial awards only, and they are awarded at admission as final. So you will get to see your full scholarship package at the time that you're admitted at the Brown School. And then let's see, we also help to close the gap with external grants or scholarships. We have what's called the Graduate Center here at WashU, and they actually have an external database full of curated scholarships that are external that you can apply for as well. And just to ensure that you're able to get those grants and have the best shot of getting them, we do recommend that students start to look in November at those scholarships and begin to apply early, just again, so you have the best shot of getting them and kind of knowing what your total aid will be. Students also can do part-time employment. This is open to all students. And for those who are eligible for federal work study, you also can work on campus. And that's very popular. I would say students are able to balance that part-time employment with work and with practicum. And especially too, if you do a job or a research assistantship here with the Brown School, I would say we are pretty flexible. We try to be understanding that you're doing a lot academically and also with your practicum hours. So trying to find ways to support you is important to us. Students also can use personal savings, money from families or sponsor support in order to close that gap. Military or employer benefits, are also ways that people will help to close that gap as well. And then, of course, there's federal student loans. Most students are able to close the gap between their institutional scholarship and their loans. And as Shana mentioned before, we do have an in-house office of financial aid. So they're really here to talk through it with you so that you're not alone in trying to figure out all your options. We really are here to support you and help you make the best choice, because we do know that graduate school, whether it's here at the Brown School or it's elsewhere, is a significant investment. And we want you to feel confident in that investment if you do decide to come. And now I will pass it over to Shana to talk about the next steps. So now that you've learned about the Brown School and all we have to offer, she will talk about how to actually apply and important dates and details.
Thanks, Clarissa. I feel like we are just racing through so much information today. So next steps, we obviously hope that you apply to the Brown School. Our application is now open. So we want to just talk about some important dates as you think about this. First of all, our application deadlines will be here in the fall. December 1st is our priority or early action deadline. We encourage you to apply by that if you can. If you do, you will receive your decision and your scholarship information by March 1st. I'm sorry, by February 1st. March 1st is our regular decision application deadline. And then after March 1st, we will have rolling admission. A couple of really important deadlines to keep in mind after March 1st, though. One is April 1st. That will be our international applicant final deadline. And then June 1st will be our domestic applicant final deadline. So please just keep these deadlines in mind and plan accordingly. We also have several additional upcoming virtual info sessions where we will talk about a variety of different things. Later this month on September 19th, we'll talk about the part-time Master of Social Work program. The 25th of September, we'll be discussing the Master of Public Health program. In October, on the 9th, we'll be talking about our Master of Social Work program. On the 23rd of October, we'll go through tips for submitting your strongest application. That's always a really fun and popular one. And then November 13th is all about you. Ask us anything. What else can we help you with? So you'll see that that's right before our December 1st priority early action deadline. So hopefully you'll be able to join us for some of these, and they'll be helpful for you as you prepare your application. And then we would love to connect with you outside of virtual info sessions. Feel free to contact us for anything. Clarissa or I or our colleagues are here to help you. So you can reach us at brownadmissions@woostel.edu or brownschool.washu.edu. Our phone number is also there. We don't get a lot of phone calls nowadays, but we have a phone. Feel free to call us. Feel free to email us. We also are hosting in-person visits and tours on Fridays. So we would be happy to set that up for you. You can meet with us, with a current student, and then get a tour of the campus. So QR code there for you to connect with us in those different ways. And we're at question time. So we did it. Yay. Let's look at our questions. I know I want to thank all of the staff who are helping to answer questions. It looks like we've had several coming in, and you've marked a few for us to answer live. So we will be happy to do that. Kind of dive right in here. Do you think our desired concentration needs to be well articulated in our application process? I'm happy to answer that. And it looks like Jesse submitted that. Thanks for the question, Jesse. We do ask that you articulate certainly why you're interested in this program. I think I mentioned earlier in the presentation that we will ask you for your intended concentration in your application. So it's important to articulate that and tell us why you're interested in that. I do want to note, I think I mentioned this also, that you have some time to change your concentration. You know, if you start out as intending to do a children, youth, and families concentration, but you get into courses and you really want to change to mental health, you have the freedom to do that. So you're not really like set in stone there, but the most important thing to articulate in your application is sort of like why you want to do this, why you're interested in this program, why you're interested in the field of social work. And as much as you can tell us about your intended concentration, I think the better for us to understand who you are. I'm going to pause and have Clarissa answer one too.
Sure. So another question that we got is, can I apply for a master's degree in social work despite having an undergraduate degree in a different field? And the answer is yes, totally. We do not discriminate based on your undergraduate degree, because we also know folks may go into school for one thing, but then based on experience or just based on learning more about the social work field, maybe want to pivot. So no, you can totally apply. It's just, if you do have a BSW, you are able to be on the advanced standing track. So with advanced standing, you would just basically not have to take all of those foundational courses. You would instead take what we call Bridge to Brown. And that's something I forgot to mention, but I will here, is just that is a 2-week intensive course that basically goes kind of as an overview back over things that you've learned about in your BSW program to make sure that you and other advanced standing students are on the same page moving forward into your concentration classes. So yes, you definitely can apply with a different degree. Shana, back to you.
Sure. Well, the next one is similar to the first one I answered, which is, do we need to be able to articulate our specific path for our intended career in our personal statement? To that, I would say similar to to what I said a few minutes ago, we would like for you to be as specific as possible in your personal statement. I think it's important not only for us as admissions staff to understand who you are, but I think that also helps you in the process to really be able to articulate, why are you doing this? Why are you making this commitment? What are you really hoping to do? I think a lot of students are able to clarify themselves through their personal statement, some of their career goals. Now, this is not to say that you need to have, everything figured out. We know that there's variation. We know that like sometimes you go to school to figure some things out and to clarify some things, and that's totally fine and understandable. But I think as specific as you can be, the better. There is also a question, I'll just answer this next one, about part-time students. Can you start as a part-time MSW student in year one and then finish up as full-time? You cannot. We do require that students either pick part-time or pick full-time, and you will need to complete that that program in its entirety. So part of the reason for that is that it is a cohort model. Especially that part-time cohort is pretty small. So we want students to move through the cohort together. So unfortunately, there is not the flexibility to kind of move back and forth between the programs there. Clarissa, do you want to answer the practicum question?
Of course. So to clarify, yes, you can choose a practicum that does not need to be based in St. Louis. You can choose your practicums, again, locally here in St. Louis or around Missouri. It could also be nationally or internationally. And that's the importance of having your field education advisor, is they're going to be able to work with you on maybe if you are thinking about more of an international practicum, what those logistics look like. How can you be best supported when you're doing your practicum in a different country or again in a different state? So definitely, once you're here, think about what you might be interested in, and then bring that to your field education advisor and also your academic advisor, because again, they're going to work together to make sure that you're supported fully, not just with your academics, but also your practicum and everything in between. So that's what I would say to that. And then just to answer the next one about how competitive the application process is, and if it's more competitive based on specialization, it is not. We weigh those things equally. So please choose which specialization and concentration that you find really resonates with you and really will help you advancing in the career that you want. Because again, as Shanna mentioned, when we're looking at your application, the more that we can see who you are, why the MSW is a good fit for you, why the Brown School is a good fit for you, those are things to just consider as you apply. Shanna, do you want to take the next one?
Sure, happy to. And then this will probably be our last one because it looks like we are at time 12:45. What are the key differences between early review and priority review for admission and scholarship consideration, as both options offer consideration for admission and scholarship? So great question. The key difference with the December 1 deadline is you're kind of first in line. For admission, like I said, you will receive your decision by February 1st. That gives you a lot of time to plan if you are moving, if you are, applying to multiple programs, which we know people are. That gives you just a lot more time to plan, to make that decision. We also will have Admitted Students Day in the spring. Should be in, I think, the first weekend of April this year. So you'll receive your admission decision in time to plan for and hopefully attend that, which is a wonderful event that we hope admitted students can come to. In terms of funding, we also start each year with our full pool of funding available. So that's really the main benefit of applying early, is that we still have all of our scholarships, we still have our full funding available, and we prioritize that based on when students apply. So the earlier, the better for the most funding opportunities. I am going to pause right there because this is supposed to end at 12:45 and we are at 12:46 right now. So I want to thank everyone so much for joining us today. This session flew by. I know we gave you tons and tons and tons of information. The session is recorded, so we will be posting it on our YouTube page and on our website here in the next couple of days. So be on the lookout for that. Again, we also are here to answer any questions that you have. Please connect with us. We're here to help. We're here to support. We hope to see your application in the coming months. Thank you all for joining. Have a great one.